My name is Renée Stout, and I'm a local artist here in Washington, D.C. And I've been invited to talk about how African art has influenced my work, as well as how it's influenced some of the artists in this particular exhibition. As a child growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I first encountered African art when I was attending Saturday art classes at the Carnegie Museum there. On Saturdays, we would go into the natural history part of the Carnegie Museum, where we would draw from the dusty old cases filled with ethnographic objects. And one of the first African pieces I encountered was an Nkisi in Kondi. And most people know those pieces as nail fetishes, which people have seen in museums. And on first sight, it wasn't something that was scary to me or anything like that. And I remember one of my classmates looking at it saying, "Look at that voodoo doll." And like he was frightened of it, but that wasn't my reaction to it. There was actually a kind of curiosity about the texture, the color, and just curiosity about where this piece had come from. So over the years, I would go looking in other museums for pieces like this, and then just discovered a whole world of African art that would eventually come to be a big influence on my more mature bodies of work. Another one of my favorite photographs in the exhibition is this Roland Penrose photograph of a surrealist artist and a surrealist poet wearing two masks. One mask is from Africa, the other is from Oceania. But what I really love about this photograph is that it's so playful, and the idea that the artist may or may not have known the history behind these particular masks, but at the same time they're inspired by these objects. And what's interesting is that these days there's a lot of talk about appropriation in the art world, but that talk really seems to be coming from curators, art historians, and writers. I think artists don't get so hung up on the idea of appropriating. What we do is we see the world, we see forms that inspire us, even if they may or may not be from the culture that we're from. And this whole idea that we should have to ask permission to be inspired by other cultures, where are we supposed to ask this permission? Who gives us permission? And I think that artists should be free to look around and see things in the world and be inspired by them. And that's why I love this photograph. I just love the playfulness, the childlike quality, where two artists are just sitting there talking and reacting to the forms, and it's one of my favorites. As I grew up and I started looking at African art, I noticed that some pieces had hair incorporated into them. And the texture was the way my natural hair actually looked. And all those years I had been getting my hair straightened and permed. And so when I started creating these pieces that were inspired by African art, I noticed that I would go to the brush or the comb and pull my own hair out, which had a straight texture because of the perm, and I would wet it and then roll it in my palms to get it back to its natural state, and then actually attach these balls of hair into the art pieces that I was making. And then one day, it kind of hit me, if I find my own hair texture so beautiful and natural, and I'm using it in the piece in this way, why don't I just let it be that way on my head? And at that point, I stopped perming my hair for good, and I let my hair lock.